I asked AI to plan my entire trip. Was it a mistake? Planning a trip is supposed to be fun, but sometimes the planning part starts to feel like a second job. You open your computer and suddenly there are 20 tabs open. Where should we go? Which hotel is actually good? What are the best places to eat? What are the must-see things? And what are the tourist traps? And somewhere in the middle of all that, you're wondering if planning a vacation is supposed to feel this complicated. It can turn into a lot. So I decided to try something a little different. Instead of spending hours researching everything myself, I asked AI to plan the trip. Not just one thing, the whole thing. The destination ideas, the hotels, the restaurants, the activities, and even something people sometimes forget until the last minute, transportations. Basically, I wanted to see if AI could help build a personalized travel itinerary. Now, I should mention something before we go further. I actually tried this once before when planning a trip to Santa Cruz, California, and I learned something important from that experience. I'll come back to that in a minute because there's a lesson in it. But first, let's talk about how you can actually use AI to plan a trip. And honestly, this part is kind of fun because when you start asking AI travel questions, it begins suggesting all kinds of possibilities you might not have thought of. And stick around until the end of this video because I have a little surprise for you that will make planning your next trip with AI a whole lot easier. So let's start with the first step. Sometimes the hardest part of planning a vacation is simply deciding where to go. This is where AI can be surprisingly helpful. Instead of just typing a destination into a search engine, you can describe the kind of trip you want. For example, you could ask something like, suggest vacation destinations for someone who enjoys scenic views, walking, good local food, and relaxed exploration. Include well-known places and a few lesser-known gems. Suddenly, you start seeing ideas you might never have considered. And this is the part I really enjoy. You start exploring possibilities. It feels less like searching and more like brainstorming. Once you have a destination in mind, the next big question is always, where should we stay? Hotels can be tricky because every place looks great in the photos, but the reviews sometimes tell a different story. AI can help summarize that information quickly. You can ask things like, recommend well-reviewed hotels in this area that are clean, safe, and in a walkable neighborhood. And one thing that's really helpful is you can also tell AI your budget. For example, you might say, find highly rated hotels near this area under $200 a night that offer good value for the price. You can even ask it to help identify possible deals or good value options. Instead of sorting through hundreds of listings yourself, AI can help narrow things down to options that actually fit your travel style and your budget. Maybe you want something quiet. Maybe you want something close to transportation. Maybe you want something with a great view. Instead of scrolling forever through hotel sites, AI helps you quickly focus on the most promising options. Then comes one of my favorite parts of travel planning. What should we actually do while we're there? This is where you can really personalize the trip. You can tell AI the type of traveler you are. Maybe you enjoy hiking. Maybe you love walking through cities. Maybe you like historical sites, local markets, or scenic viewpoints. You can even ask for hidden gems, places locals love that tourists often miss. You might ask something like, suggest interesting things to do in this destination, including popular attractions and lesser-known spots locals enjoy. And this is where planning starts to get exciting because suddenly you're discovering ideas you didn't know existed. Of course, no trip is complete without good food, and AI can help with that too. You can ask things like, what local foods should I try when visiting this destination? Or recommend highly rated restaurants near the main attractions that locals enjoy. This can help you find interesting places to eat without accidentally falling into the classic vacation trap of ending up in a restaurant that is designed mostly for tourists. Now, here's where everything really comes together. Once you have the destination, the hotel ideas, the activities, and the restaurants, you can ask AI to create a daily itinerary. For example, create a 4-day travel itinerary including attractions, meals, and travel time between locations. And suddenly you have a structured plan for each day, morning ideas, afternoon activities, dinner suggestions. You can even ask AI about transportation. Things like, what are the best ways to get around this destination? Are trains, buses, or ride shares the easiest option? What transportation is most convenient for visitors? You don't have to follow the plan exactly, but it gives you a really helpful starting point, and it makes the whole planning process feel much less overwhelming. Now, remember earlier when I mentioned planning a trip to Santa Cruz, that experience taught me something important. AI was actually very good at helping me generate ideas and organize the trip. But it also reminded me that you still want to double check details and make adjustments. In other words, AI can be an amazing travel planning partner, but it's not something you want to follow blindly. And that's exactly why I'm planning to use AI again for an upcoming trip later this year, this time for a trip to Japan. And yes, I'll admit it, I'm a bit of a Disney geek. Some people love Disney. Some people absolutely roll their eyes. It's all good. But that's actually a story for my other channel. I mention this because one of the places I'm hoping to visit later this year is Tokyo Disneyland. And you can't just go to Disney. It is freaking Japan. And there is so much to see and do. So I'll be taking my own advice and using AI to help me discover those hidden gems I might never know about. It will help me explore destinations because I really want to see the historical areas of Japan. I'll be researching hotels that fit my budget. I'll use AI to help find restaurants, but also the small eateries and fun places to visit. I'll ask it to suggest activities based on the things I enjoy. And I'll ask AI the best ways to get around Japan. Is trains, buses, or maybe something else? And with all of that, I'll create a daily itinerary. But I will admit, I'll also leave a little room for spontaneity. But the real question is, how well will that plan actually work in real life? And that's the part I'm going to find out. It worked for Santa Cruz, but Japan is a different country. Will it be as good? So when I do take that trip, I'll come back and share what happened. I promised a surprise in the beginning of the video. Scroll down to the bottom of the video description and there will be a link to a free prompt sheet that has all the prompts you can use to research and create your customized vacation itinerary. Did the AI itinerary actually work or was it a mistake? That is it for today. Once again, thank you for viewing. It is always appreciated. Until next time when we explore more interesting AI topics together. What will it be? You'll have to come back and see. With that, I'll see you in the next video.